All right, so we are recording and we're really excited to have Ash again with us today for our leadership guest speaker. And you guys are going to get some great knowledge from her. So, Ash, again, remember we have about 15 minutes for you to present. And then, you guys, I would love for you to all come up with a question that you can ask Ash after she's done presenting. And then, Ash, go ahead and introduce yourself and take it away.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for giving me your time. I very much appreciate opportunities like this because I myself was just like you guys. We didn't have digital. This was before COVID time, so a lot was in the classroom, but we had some awesome opportunities to have guest speakers at the school. And personally, for me, it was one of my favorite things. So my name is Ash Fortis. Most of things about me that you could learn, you could honestly Google. So I want to keep it very brief, but if you're interested in learning a little bit more about myself or my story, you can type in Ash Fortis into Google and learn a little bit more about my unique journey. I've been in the hair industry for 14 years. July is my anniversary from graduating. So I include hair school in my 14 years of experience. I went on to apprentice at a local salon. It was really high end, hard. I left a lot of days crying. A lot of that had to do with me. Also, it just was brutal. You know, for me, the reason I was so, I guess, emotional about it was because I was very passionate. I loved what I got to do, but I had a lot to learn and develop in the personal and professional development. And so I went on from there. I worked in a not so great salon. So I got to kind of take from that, you know, some experience. And I went on to booth rent. From there, it was just, you know, renting a chair, working with 20, 30 other booth renters, learning how to have an ecosystem with other people who ran their own individual businesses. I was running fast. You know, 2 years out of hair school, booth renting was an insane idea, especially at the time. We didn't have what we have now, which is what you guys have. We didn't have all the tools, resources, available education. So I went into business for myself, and that really kind of became a catalyst for me. I went on to co-create Pulp Bright Hair Color Company with a few other people as original co-owners and co-creators. Because I got to do that, I got to travel the world nationally, internationally. I got to help motivate and inspire different hair trends. I got to educate people on how to make better careers for themselves. So that's what I'm really passionate about. After that, I built my salons. I scaled them up. So I went from booth renting into a small suite, into a small storefront, into what I have now 6 years later, which is a 4,000 square foot salon spa. Today, what I really wanted to focus on while sharing all these accolades, you know, I know what it's like to earn $1 million off of those opportunities. It's incredible. I've authored a book. I've gotten to do some really incredible things, meet some incredible people. But the truth about my success has really nothing to do with each of your success. So I've become very passionate. I kind of gave up traveling the world. I stay home base here. I educate in salon, facilitate other education, mentor. It's a lot of technical skills, but personal and professional development as well. So grit over glamour is like a mindset mantra to me. I even tattooed it on my hand as a nice reminder. And that has a lot to do with just what I would like to share with you guys and really, you know, kind of passing it back to you guys. Developing your mindset, I think, is one of the most overlooked things when you're in hair school, right? I was in hair school. I remember people being annoyed when we would have motivational speakers. And it was like, but I need to learn the technical skill. Show me how to baby light. Show me how to do this creative color, right? There was like everybody resented and pushed back when it came to personal and professional development. If I had not taken time to really grow my mindset, I would not have had the success I've had. If I was not willing to humble myself out of hair school and assist, if I was not willing to leave my assistingship crying every day, that wasn't a testimony to the place I worked at. It was, I really looked up to this atmosphere. They were everything I wanted to be. It was a very high-end salon, very high-end clientele. It was expected of us to keep the functionality of the entire salon going while learning how to do hair. I was paid to to have these opportunities. And somebody every Monday came and educated us every Monday for 4 hours, and they dedicated the salon being closed so that we could do this, right? But I came out of hair school and I wanted to go fast. And there's a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And throughout my 14-year journey of really going fast and going in a rocket ship and building this hair color company and authoring a book and building $1 million salon and making $1 million decision, nobody sees under the iceberg of what it took to be there. But a lot of people want to come work for me. You know, I want to be Ash Fortis. I want to be where you've been. I want to do what you do. And then they get real mad at me when we're going through the process. I want to ask all of you guys right now, and if we can unmic, I would love to make, hold on. Sorry, guys, I had a call. I like class participation, right? So when I was thinking about presenting to you guys today, I'm thinking about each of you individually, believe it or not. For me to feel like I've made an impact as an educator, I want to hopefully motivate anybody's mindset who's listening. Today, by a raise of hands, can anybody tell me if they set their mindset? Did you this morning wake up and say, today, I'm going to choose to have an excited mindset. Today, I'm going to be having a student mindset, meaning like, it's okay for me to learn. Today, I can mess up. I can be frustrated, right? Did anybody today wake up this morning and say, I want to set this mindset? Can anybody raise their hand? And it's okay. You can raise or not raise, but let like, just be proud of that. Like, you know, it's, why is my video not on? I'm so sorry. There we are. Technology, mindset, right? So do I wake up every day and set my mindset? No. But the days when I do are really impactful. What I've learned is that I am in control of my mindset. Anybody watch the new Inside Out 2 movie, right? Anxiety has entered the chat. If you haven't seen it, I think it's great. I've had to learn that my mindset has a lot to do with how I show up. And if you didn't set your mindset today, somebody else is driving you, right? Like anxiety could have been the driver today. Frustration could have been the driver today. Disappointment could have been the driver today. You know, people get mad at me all the time. I'm like the coach, you know, you're going to feel it burn a little bit. I feel it burn, and I'm teaching from my experience, you know. There's a saying, which is perspective can only be for those that wear the shoe. You cannot imagine the person next to you's struggles or life or circumstances because you're not wearing their shoes. And sometimes you're going to be wearing shoes that are too big for you, and you have to actually work to grow into them. And in this industry, there's a lot of glitz and glamour. That's why my mantra is grit over glamour. If you want the glamour, you're going to have to be gritty. If you want to be a 6-figure stylist, just like the internet's telling you, you know, go to hair school, come out, you can be $100,000 a year stylist. It's hard. It is hard. It is not wave a wand, let's go. The personal and professional development you make and you're committed to will in turn make sure that you have good client relationships. So who in here wants to have good clients, right? The ideal chef's kiss. Oh my God, thank you so much for, I'm having sweats over here. I'm just nervous about how this hair is going to come out, but you have faith in me, right? Like we want those clients. Who in here wants to like mess up someone's hair? Not I, right? Not I. It doesn't feel good. It feels terrible. But you have to fail. You have to get comfortable with failing. You have to get okay with sucking at things. That's called killing your ego. When you have an ego, it really is insecurity. It's something that you need to challenge. And it seems silly, it seems simple, but how your relationships are, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you have these clients and you want to maintain long-term relationships, you need to be professional. I used to overtalk the shit out of my clients. Talk. Oh my God, Sally, how are you doing? Sally, how's your day been? This is how my day, blah, 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 blah. Like queen of oversharing. They're therapying, I'm therapying, right? I'm building this connection, but then they want an emotional discount. Then they know too much about my life. Then, you know, that boy I was talking about, you know, I was really excited about him. We went on a few dates. Well, he's an asshole and he like ruined my life. And now I got to tell her and all my clients about how he ruined my life. So I have to live it out every day, nonstop for the whole month of the breakup. Right? Don't open the door. No, I'm quieter now as a seasoned stylist because I'm confident in the work I'm going to provide and I need to focus. The truth of the matter is systems help you to be successful. Understanding business helps you to be successful. Really lining yourself up. If you're coming out of hair school and you want to go right into being an entrepreneur, you are going to have it hard. This new age of saying like, do that, I was running fast. I went so fast. And I hit walls, hit walls, hit walls, hit walls, hit walls. And thank God I'm still successful. But I made it so much harder on myself than I needed to. I went absolutely around the mountain to get back up the mountain and fall back down and back around and up. Like, if you don't want to do that, have a grit mindset, have an endurance mindset. How many of you guys practice self-care? Truly. Okay. Let me challenge one more idea, okay? Hate me for this or love me for this. Do we think that self-care is always binging on Netflix? Some days, right? Let's admit, some days we just need a binge on Netflix, chill, need a moment, disassociate, disconnect. Self-discipline is a huge part of self-care. Self-discipline would mean I got to go to bed early tonight. I can't Netflix and chill all night. You know how many employees come to me and they're like, my stomach hurts. I don't feel good today. Can you cancel all my clients? Me? I got to call them? Hey, Nancy, I've been waiting like 3 months and you won't be able to get in for another 3 months. But somebody ate some stuff they shouldn't have last night. Like, by meaning ate some stuff, had a few drinks, had a few margaritas, about 5 tacos. Their stomach hurts. They also had 2 Red Bulls yesterday, right? These are choices that you make. If you become unreliable to your clients, they will not come back. And you don't just get to cherry pick. I don't know where social media might be telling us we get to cherry pick our ideal clientele. None of you in this room get to do that. Not starting out. You guys are starting at the hardest point. You got to prove yourself the most. You got to lower your ego. You got to be willing to mess up. You got to be willing to trust somebody to take you in to teach you. You have to be willing to be humble to understand that hair school can only teach you so much. It's just impossible to teach you the scope and the caliber of hair that you all want to create, right? Because society has put that pressure on you all, right? Nobody is asking for like 70s hair, 80s hair, 90s hair. No, they're asking for 2024 hair, which is like Pinterest and AI is the expectation. But everyone has different hair types, hair histories, personalities. It's a lot to go into. So hair school can only teach you the foundation. But I remember being in hair school and I remember being frustrated. I remember coming out of hair school and being like, they ain't teaching me nothing. I ain't learned nothing. These learning leaders hate me. Maybe I even hate them sometimes. But it was not the right mindset. Didn't help me get anywhere. Sitting in that, stewing in that, being in that did not bring majestic opportunities to me. So I changed my mindset. I had a car accident, changed my mindset in hair school, defriended a person. They were a fence sitter, if you guys have read the Be Nice or Else book. And I just knew I had to like be laser focused. And so when I say like, if you want to go fast, go alone, that was my selfish era. That was, if you are not obsessed with hair to the degree I am, because at this point I just could not control my passion and excitement for hair. I just couldn't. That's not going to be everybody. Doesn't have to be everyone. Doesn't mean that everyone won't have success. But another really important thing, if I could leave with you guys today with that mindset, is there's one thief of joy, one really huge thief of joy, and it's comparison. So every time you compare yourself, which is human behavior, every time the person next to you, you're like running your race and you're like looking next to you, you're probably going to trip. You're probably going to go slower. Something's going to happen. Not many people looking next to them are winning the races. It's a fact. This is a fact. So by comparing yourself, you are judging others, and in turn judging yourself doesn't make for a happy, healthy person. And you're not in competition with anybody but yourself. Your strengths and your weaknesses are not the same as the person beside you, nor do they have to be. There is so many opportunities in hair, so many things that you can do. And I truly believe that anybody can do them. Nothing about me made me special to allow me to be able to co-create the fastest growing color company in history. Like, that's a fact. That's not something I decided to put a tagline on. No other color company grew like Pulp Riot do. Nobody got to have what I got to have in co-ownership share. Nobody got to be debt-free building a one-of-a-kind salon like I have. And I even know what it's like to be at the top and realize, like, oh, damn, this is it. Oh man, I got to go back. I got to go like learn all about myself to be like so popular in social media, to become a public figure when I wasn't trying to become one. You guys probably see it on TikTok. You probably see social media, like the internet is like crazy, and they are harsh, and they do not care about your feelings. And there's a lot of haters out there. And if you do not have a sense of who you are, your clients, your coworkers, your employers, your friends, your relationships will all tell you who you are. Like, that's a scary place to be. I've been there. I've been at a point where I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea who I am. And now, like, maybe I'm this monster, like in my villain era, you know, AKA protecting my business interests. Like, nope, bad attitudes can't work here. Sorry, right? Like, that's my villain era. Yeah, like as a salon owner, like you can mess up, you can fry someone's hair off. You can do anything like that. But like if you do something that's inappropriate to a client, to a coworker, you know, I have some hard lines there, right? But you have to protect your business. You have to protect people around you. You have to have that mindset of like, I'm here to do business, right? I'm here to love what I do, hopefully. Because if you do love what you do, you're going to be even more successful. If you hate what you're doing right now, I really encourage you to find out a way to love it, or I would switch, because it's a lot of humaning. It's a lot of human behavior. It's a lot of communication, which means you have to learn how to really communicate with people and clients. You also need to be a good listener. I had to learn how to be a good listener. You know, as much as I talked, did I even hear that consultation correctly? No. I have given hair to clients that I was like, my husband's like, I have no idea why you gave her pink hair. And that's why she said she didn't want pink hair. I don't know where you landed on she wanted pink hair. I don't know where I did either, apparently, you know? So it's an ongoing process. And I hope that people, you know, that, you know, are watching this can just trust that process. You know, failure is not fatal. Making a mistake is not fatal. It goes so far. And people on my team know this. If you just say, oh, my bad, it's really as simple as, what's the problem? How do we fix it? And I hope that you all take that upon yourselves every day. If you're going through something right now, I didn't wake up with the mindset today, or maybe you're weak, you're like, all right, I'm going to have the mindset, but you only did it twice that week. Practice talking kindly to yourself. Practice, okay, well, you know, something was better than nothing. And then keep trying to inch your way there. And, you know, try to refocus your mindsets to positive directions as best you can. And I think whatever way you navigate your career, you can have as much success as you want with it. There's a lot, again, of opportunities, so many different jobs that I wish I knew coming out of school, like, oh, I don't have to do hair, or I could do hair. I could do it on yachts. I literally was at a car dealership recently. Apparently they have a little salon in the car dealership. I'm like, oh yeah, like that's great. Like somebody's getting their hair serviced while their car is being serviced. Like that's a great like way to sell people on something, you know? There's ideas that have never even been invented. You know, when I utilized social media and we co-created a hair color company with other hairstylists, nobody did that. Nobody could have told me that the app I was using, which at the time was called Periscope, it wasn't Facebook Live, Instagram Live, would be a catalyst to, oh, eventually live broadcasting would be a huge thing, you know? And that's what gained me the opportunity to co-create Pulp Riot. So believe in yourself, you know, power of manifestation, I truly do believe works, but I think it has a lot to do with your mindset. I think that's been a good amount of time of me speaking. I would love to pass it on if you guys want to unmute, and if you guys have any questions for me while we wrap up today, I would love to be able to answer anything that might help any of you guys.
Wow. Oh, wow. Ash, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. I have so many notes. Farmington, I'm going to start with you guys. What kinds of questions do you have for Ash, or maybe even a comment of sort? And while you think on that, I'm going to ask the first one. So Ash, where can I and the rest of our future professionals find you, like on Instagram?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle is XOStylistXO. So How did I come up with that? Good branding. I got lucky. I picked those X's and O's up before everybody else got a chance. And it was kind of like my tagline, like with love from behind the chair. So it has been a lot of like my brand and how I've identified my brand.
I love it. All right, Farmington, you guys are up. If you can unmute, who has a question?
I had a question. What's something that you think people say a lot in this industry that just like simply is not true?
That all commission-based salons are terrible and they're monsters and they're taking all of your money. I worked in one. I remember thinking that way. That's why it's so like my karmatic circle was like, ooh, let's go back around now. Now you're wearing the shoe of the salon owner, right? So the truth of the fact is when you're your own boss, that there's a certain way that looks. When you work in a commission-based atmosphere, there's a certain way that looks. The truth is it's going to depend on whoever the salon owner is. You want a good commission model to be somebody that supports you in education, willing to help you out. They're doing your front desk, so you don't have to worry about doing your booking, answer calls, dealing with redos, dealing with unhappy clients, dealing with no-shows. Some salons like ours, we offer assistance. So, eventually time is money. So you learn how to single book and then you learn how to do an ethical double booking. So then you are training the newer people coming up because we all have something to share, right? I don't want somebody to just be me. I want them to be them with the skills that I can offer them. And you can learn something different from everybody that's surrounding you. All of you right now have somebody next to you that has a strength that you may not have. And I think it's hard because a lot of it has been villainized and there's this big push to be independent. But nobody talks about the fact that it's a 24/7 job. It's extremely high pressure. A lot of people that come out and do that kind of work, just like myself, I was not good at the business side. So I incurred a lot of tax debt. I also could never prove my income. So when I tried to rent or tried to even for this location, you could Google me. I was famous in the hair industry. I had a lot of money in my bank account. Yeah, I ended up paying a large down payment for this place because I had not had established credit and I had medical debt, right? Not burning through credit cards and things like that, but because I thought cash in hand was king, like, oh, I'm making so much money, but I never accounted for my overhead. I never accounted for the time it would take to step away from being behind the chair, which brought in the money, to all the elements that it would take to run a business successfully. So I think that a lot of people kind of trick people into thinking you need a coach, you need to learn this one technique, this one big method. But the truth is you just can't get to the destinations we want to as fast as you want to without quality education. And that really is broken up into the technical skills to do proficient work and the business smarts to know how to capitalize on that. And then how to be set up for success when you do want to go out on your own. Because I don't think it's the end all be all, but I would be terrified of anyone coming out of hair school going into running their own business for themselves. But I think it has become way more common. As a salon owner myself, I know, and a lot of people want to come in, take what they need, and they leave. And I hope that people understand like an investment is something you dedicate a lot of time and a lot of effort into, and you hope to get a return. A lot of commission salon owners have a lot of turnover for people that, they're having a hard time. They want that chair so bad, like I need it now. So, it's the challenge of trying to make sure someone's prepared for that. And I think that's individual for each of us. Some people learn by being thrown in. Some people are like, oh my God, it's devastated my confidence with one mess up. I want to quit hair and I'm done, right? Us individually, but that's a big thing for me. A lot of the things for me, and when I hear things like that, it comes to developmental side. A lot of people are just like, you can only make money this way. You can only do it this way. And I just encourage you guys to research and kind of write down business plans for all of these ways and look into what it means to make a business plan for yourself and why.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're still on mute, Michigan.
Anybody have a question?
I have a question.
All right, Rose has a question for you.
Hello. I have a for you. I was wondering, once you graduated cosmetology school and you obtained your license, when did you put a business plan in place? Like, was it soon after? Was it during school? How did that work for you to become as successful as you are?
So embarrassingly so, I did not build my first real business plan. And so I built like my first storefront. Like I never thought of a concept of like building a business plan around like life or opportunities. But from there, I built one for everything. So when I authored a book, I did build a business plan for that because I wanted to know, like, I've never authored a book. Can I even do this? What would that scope of work look like? So I encourage you guys to really dive into building a business plan for yourself, right? Power of manifestation / business plan. The smartest way to manifest is to write down, you know, what does that look like? If you're going to apprentice, what can you expect from apprenticing? You might have to get a second job. You know, you're probably, you know, you're getting paid to learn. A lot of people come in and like, well, you know, I'm not paid to just, no, you're not paying to go to school, right? Everyone in here paid to go to school? Yes. Lots of money, right? Everybody can agree. But we don't get paid as salon owners to teach. So a lot of time when I'm working on clients, there's a lot of entitlement where people think like, oh, you must show me how to foil. Why would I show you how to foil if you don't know how to properly cut yet or really know the foundations of foiling to the degree I need to teach you, right? My client, though, she's here for the experience. And we teach when we can and any opportunities that we can. But I think like when you want to go out for your own, you know, you really want to know like, what's my overhead? You know, and a lot of people don't understand like the taxes, right? So when you're on your own, you pay a higher tax than you do if you're employed in a business. So my employees here, they pay a tax and I pay a tax. Let's say you run credit cards because you're your own business, just as we do. I pay about $1,500 just to run credit cards. Square will take a fee for you guys, so they'll take it right off the top. So if you had a $250 bill, might be $45 taken off for just running the credit card, period, just a credit card fee. As the salon business, as an owner, I also pay the taxes on your tips that I don't collect at all. So, you know, how much is color? How can you estimate how much color is going to be? You know, are you going to be good about your inventory? Are you going to waste? You know, I have scales here and I show my team that there are months where we waste $1,000+ just going completely down the tube, $1,000 just down the drain. So I encourage anybody that runs any kind of opportunity for themselves, or if you do want to run a business to do it whenever you would be ready. I just was the person that jumped in and was like, well, I mean, I feel like I can't say no, you know, and because of my grit, determination, ability to say, like, if I made a mistake, hey, that's my bad, and correct by self-assessing.
Awesome. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Thank you, Ash, so much for your time today. We appreciate you and you've taught all of us so much. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Good luck to everyone. Thanks for your time.